This podcast is brought to you by The Pod Tower, hosted by the Watchtower database. Visit youtube.com/thepodtower for informative, hilarious DC animation-themed podcasts and live streams every week. And check out the Watchtower database for DCAU video essays, timelines, fan theories, and more. And please, enjoy the show. It's episode 150 of Jump on the Bat-Wagon. Today we are joined by our good friend from other episodes. His name is... We're just going to let this go the rest of the time. There's only about 13 seconds left of this song. Greetings, babies. Welcome to it. We got Joe here. We're talking Mr. Mxyptlk. We're talking... That's it. That's the song.
How you say it.
We've been trying to do that for like 3 of the last times you were here and kept forgetting every time.
And I remembered at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, he just sent me a text and said, "Soy yo!" And I knew exactly what it meant. I was like, oh, yeah. Did you hear your name in that song, Joe?
Oh, I did hear it.
It's like they said your name.
I was going crazy.
Baby didn't like it.
Joe's here.
It's like, why am I not on the podcast?
Soy Joe, except I'm not Joe.
No, me neither. I wish I was. What's it like to be Joe?
My back hurts.
Then I am Joe. I'm
Joe too.
Aren't we all really Joe?
With just 5 easy payments of $19.95 addressed here, you could be Joe too.
You can be Joe. Well, it is episode 150, which we decided along
big number.
Maybe 5 episodes ago was because at some point Jesus was like 100's a big number, and that's what you got to celebrate. So today we're with 50 more of those, 50 100s. That's how math works, and we're here for the big episode. Thank you,
Joe.
Jesus. Oh, and Joe.
Joe.
Yay.
You don't seem so enthused about that. You know, they wrote that song for you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. It said like with our good friend, but I feel like good has to be like lowercase. It's not like that good.
Oh.
With our like parentheses,
because otherwise this
good.
character would be, there'd be more happenings of this character. They would have written the show different.
Oh, yeah. You walk in and it's a Kramer situation where the audience starts clapping and screaming.
You can make that happen, Jamie.
Yeah, you're right. You want to go walk in the door or pretend you are?
There's a lot of visual gags going on in this podcast.
Wait, I have to back the chair up for a second.
Yeah, can you just make the door sounds real quick? Oh, my God. That's fan favorite character, Joe. Here for episode 100.
Joe.
I did my best slide into my chair across the carpet.
I saw it.
Carpet
look all whacked out. Yeah.
Carpet's famously hard to slide on, too.
Yeah.
So, like, double points.
Well, I'm James from the Watchtower Database YouTube channel, and I'm here to show my good buddy Brian and sometimes my good friend Joe that I guess isn't as good as
lowercase
I thought he was.
g.
The entire DC animated universe.
G-O-E.
Yeah, G-O-E. G-O Joe.
G-O Joe, please go home.
Yeah, go away. The entire DC animated universe from start to finish for the very first time in the controversial Airdate order, so that he/both of he may view these shows the way human beings experience them in the far gone days of the 1900s. And by that, Joe only experiences the Ra's al Ghul and Mr. Mxyptlk episodes. And I think that you are also here for that one with the ventriloquist, but that didn't count. That was like a special episode, a special guest appearance.
Special Joe.
By our special Joe, for our special friend Joe.
Occasional, those don't count sometimes.
Yeah.
Which I feel like there was a larger advertisement for this character, like on TV. I don't know if you remember, like there were the commercials, if you or a loved one has been exposed to asbestos.
I was like, where is he going with this?
The character's name is Mesothelioma. Right?
Yes. yes. Mr. Mesothelioma.
Well, there's the subtitle for the
Sure
episode.
feels like it.
Today we're watching the Superman the Animated Series episode, Little Big Head Man. You correctly guessed this is a Mr. Mxyptlk episode.
Mesothelioma.
If you don't know who that is. I believe we also talked later about how Bizarro is also in this episode.
Yes.
Joe, what do you know of Bizarro? Do you know the character? You know who that is if I said it?
I've heard you mention
What does he look like?
Bizarre.
Say Timu Superman.
Basically. Yeah, he's a failed clone of Superman. He's all like, me and Bizarro and shit like that.
Older of the time reference would be like a Kmart Superman then.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we're talking like...
It's a 90s show.
Yeah, and also so was like those asbestos commercials.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
That was 90s, wasn't it?
I think it was 2000s also. I think they're still technically happening. It's just like no one watches TV anymore.
No, we don't see
That's
them.
True. Yeah. Are there any more infomercials with like the blue screen at the end with the like, call us with your Visa number or send in a check? Like, do those things exist?
Probably are.
Zoo books.
Someone's going to have to pop on QVC at 2 a.m. and find out.
We'll throw in the special Mesothelioma edition if you call right now.
18 tracks on 30 albums.
Oh yeah. It was some like music. There was definitely a lot of those music things. It feels like music and appliances, and maybe some like kid toys, some like estranged children's toys.
Yeah, I think
Are the toys as strange or the At the time of this recording, Superman the Animated Series is streaming on Max.
You didn't let me say 231.
Oh, at the time of this recording.
I've already said it.
Superman the Animated Series is streaming on Max and available on DVD and Blu-ray. Dogs.
I have dogs.
If you'd like to follow along, you can head over to bit.ly/watch DCAU. The link's in the show notes. This episode first aired Saturday, November 21st, 1998. Where were you? Shortly after Thanksgiving.
What day? Around? What day was it? Is that
Saturday?
Oh, I would have been at home.
Not watching this.
No.
Dumbass.
No, I just watching a TV that was turned off and just being like, I wish there was anything at all.
I wish there was something I could do.
Were you like second grade that year?
Me?
No,
that was like that was like sophomore year of college.
You were 14, yeah.
I was like 100 something.
You were 114. Yes.
114.
This aired 1 week after our last episode, Obsession.
Wow.
Aired number 46, produced number 52. That's a different number.
They're doing it bad now.
Yeah. It's our final episode of 1998. Baby. Woo.
Whoa. It's also our final episode of
2024.
1920-2024.
Yeah. Welcome to it.
They sure did take a lot of time off that year for the holidays.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like if it
they would have aired
the
other episodes, but not new ones.
I say if it aired on the 21st, like what, they stopped making that like a week beforehand, maybe? Like it was done before that?
No, they would have been done like months before the airing of it.
What are you even doing then?
I don't know. There's Zixcopacleoningifying. We're
just
here
watching
to witness
cartoons.
It. Yeah. This was
things that really matter.
Yeah, I know. I agree. This was written by Paul Dini and Robert Goodman. Two good ones, two good men. The director is a new one. Shinichi Tsuji.
No.
Mostly known for anime, shockingly, I know. They were the storyboard artists on Street Fighter II, the animated movie in 1994. Lupin III, The Legend of Twilight Gemini in 1996. And Rurouni Kenshin, the movie in 1997. They were also a key animator on Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders. And the layout artist on Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, both the good movies that Brian probably hasn't seen.
Oh, man. No, I'm so familiar with Scooby Chase. What?
Yeah.
What does a layout artist do?
Just lay out, man. Okay. Just lay it all out.
And they directed 3 episodes of Hello Kitty's Animation Theater. So that should be a good thing.
Direct, let's see. I'm intrigued. This could be good or bad. Or
I'm really worried because when I watched Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, my immediate thought was like, wow, the layout artist is really not upholding their end.
Yeah. If anything, this could have used a better layout artist.
Yeah, it almost looks like they did more laying in than laying out,
Laying on the floor doing nothing, more like.
Wow.
The music is by Christopher Carter. The animation We've had Coco Dong Yang for so long. This is not Coco Dong Yang.
No
this time.
way.
Yeah. We got
Who is
a two studio
Who is
team
it?
up. One
Coco
we've had
Dong Yang?
before. No, one we've had before and another one we've never had before. The one we've had before is Jade Animation, who previously animated The Terrible Trio and did ink and paint for Day of the Samurai and If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? The other half is called Group TAC Co Ltd.
Can you pronounce that as a word?
Group Tackled.
Lane Transit District.
Tackled. Yeah, exactly. And LTD. Feel like my sweaty shaven. Yeah. Everyone knows. Everyone knows what I'm referencing. They animated a bunch of old anime I've never heard of in my entire life. That's what I've written. Also Street Fighter 2, the animated movie in 1984, and Beautiful Joe in 2004. Joe.
What?
Joe.
It's actually why I'm here.
Yeah, because you're so beautiful.
That reference.
Yeah. That's why I did put it last, because that's you.
Crazy.
But yeah, so this is a completely unanticipatory episode that we don't know. We don't know. It's all different. It's all new.
I can anticipatory all day long. And I imagine the art's going to suck. Am I right?
I have no idea. I don't even know, man.
Do you not, or do you?
No, I sure do.
You do.
But we'll
You
experience
do.
it together.
How well do you remember each individual episode?
Pretty good.
Well,
except for, I mean, there have been some of
there's a
them
lot. There's a lot where you're like, man, I didn't remember any of this.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's what I said. Pretty
I will
well.
say both. I'd say
if you had to give
them
an average between the ones that I've seen a million times and I know and I could say them as they're happening, and the ones that I'm like, this was like watching a new episode, it'd be somewhere in the above average, I feel like. But yeah.
So better than me.
Oh yeah.
but worse than me somehow.
Yeah, Brian sometimes has seen these. You know? We actually haven't had that happen, but I'm waiting to see if there's ever a time where you're like, oh my God, I think I actually saw this or something.
I really don't think it ever happened. Like, I know it sounds like a meme or something that we're doing for the podcast, but legitimately, I don't think I ever watched a single cartoon, DC, anything at all ever.
Okay.
It could
And
be.
I don't know why.
You took a breath after
Yeah.
cartoon, and I was like, hold on.
You've seen Care Bears, at the very least. You've seen Hello Kitty's animation theater, directed by Shinichi
I think I've
Tsuji.
seen Care Bears.
There was another popular one at the time. I think it was
Gummy
like
bears.
called like Pokemon or something like that.
Pokemon. Yeah.
Pokemon,
Pokemon?
yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Yeah.
God, love it.
Anyway, listener, you can head over to the link in the description to buy us a Yoppie beverage and support the show. And we'll give you a shout out in an upcoming episode and we'll plug your shit. We'll also do a push up for every $1. Haha, Joe. So send us coffee for our health and your entertainment. We're still on Ian the Thompsons. Yeah, so we got to do 25
What a
more, I guess.
legend.
Or we could try to
Joe-
do 50. I don't
Joe,
know.
can you
Fish
just
it out.
say something nice about Ian, please? Ian
Yeah.
gave us
His
$100.
name's right here.
Oh, nice. 100? God
Yeah.
damn, dude.
I
Really?
know.
That's incredible.
I'm famous.
That
He's-
or like your intention is like we buy very expensive coffees, maybe, instead of many, many cups.
Yeah, he's
How
not
many-
really buying us 20 Yoppie Bevs. He's buying like 3.
Are you, yeah, it's either 3 really good ones or like 150 cups of Euban.
I mean,
That's what my grandpa used to drink,
50-cent
was nasty.
coffee, 75-cent coffee.
if that.
Yeah.
In a styrofoam cup, too.
Oh, it has to be,
of course.
a short one too. No
Yeah.
lid.
Yeah, no
can't
lid,
afford
short
lids.
The
one.
kind you just pump it like a church.
Yeah.
I love pumping
It's a-
at church.
well,
I love
No one-
pumping at church. I was going to say the same thing. It's my favorite pastime. Yeah.
No one drank any from last week, so we just left it out.
Oh, gross.
It's room temperature now. Anyway, I guess what are we doing? 25 push-ups? What are we doing?
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
State so much.
Also heard from multiple people last time that it was anxiety-inducing when I sped up the squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like it's a really not entertaining thing. But I'm going to do it again probably because it's a lot of stuff. Are we doing 25 or should we do 50 of something so that they're?
50?
I mean, but then it's over with. The end of the year. We're done with this person's things.
Do you want to do like
I don't know.
50 like jumping jacks or something like that?
There's so much shit that could fall over in here, and Joe and I both
Land
have to do it.
softly.
That should be fine.
Okay, I think we can do 50 jumping jacks, and then I'll speed it up by 800%, and it'll be really nice to listen to.
Ooh, that's going to be great. Okay,
Can we
let's do.
can we try to choreograph going at like 1/800th speed so it sounds normal?
Oh, yeah. If we do
Yes.
really slow jumping jacks, yeah.
We'll see you guys in about 3 hours.
Okay, I guess we have to try to do this fucking shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33,
We sped up.
Joe knocked so much shit over.
That was too fast. Holy fuck.
It will be funny though.
Yeah.
And that's really all that
That's
matters.
the whole point, yeah.
Wow.
Thank you, Ian. I didn't think that 50 jumping jacks would actually do anything, but my legs aren't hurt and I'm breathing a lot.
I think it's because we went so fast. I was like as fast as I was like
You can't hear
starting
anymore?
to catch
No,
air.
I can hear.
Oh, what are you doing? Listen. Okay. Cool. What are you saying, Brian?
Don't even know anymore.
Joe liked to show us how he could tap on his head.
Can I hear the ringing?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah, I hear
It
it.
just goes.
Oh no, I hear.
I think it rings your skull, but we don't hear that.
Okay, let's go watch the episode.
I don't want to drink this hot tea anymore.
Then don't, man. You have free will.
No, I don't.
Whoa, it's turning into one of those podcasts, huh?
I mean, not when not when I make Brian watch Batman, Superman cartoons. He doesn't have free will in those instances. He has to do what I say.
It's predetermined.
Are you ever going to get Will on the show? Now you can make some kind of free
I'd like
will
to.
joke.
That's what I was thinking when I said it. I was like, hey, it's like his name. Okay, let's go to the thing. I'm stopping.
Will.
See? Out of Earth, out of mind. Wanna see what your pal really thinks of you?
Look at me and Bizarro, me great big dummy. Them no laugh at me. Me make Superman pay. No air.
Oi, amateur. Now, you were saying?
Me make Superman hang.
That's my boy!
Yeah.
What?
I think that's how we're starting. Coming back from the episode is just a big, deep breath,
That happened.
kind of a sigh.
That
Yeah.
happened.
I'm getting the
Well,
impression that
thanks for listening.
you don't like it.
Oh, I don't know. We'll find out soon. Tell it right after Joe does it.
Wow.
If
Seamless
you're
transition.
wondering,
Thank you.
Synyop, what you just watched. Synyop. Take a listen to the synopsis. The short summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
All right, they gave me a little bit of thinking time.
Yeah, Joe, tell us what happens in Little Big Head Man.
Okay, so you start out by watching Bizarro fly around and live his life for a little too long.
I would say that's the theme of this episode is everything that happened for just a little too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Mesothelioma shows up and is like, hey.
That's Mr. Mesothelioma.
And then he plays a doctored up video of like Lois and Superman making fun of him, throws him back into the real world. I'm assuming he was in a different world. And then he goes on this little rampage, rips a train open, breaks a tunnel, gets in a fight with Superman over the course of the next third of the episode, I would say.
At least, yeah.
Which is just kind of going on in the background. They're just fighting for a while other things are happening. They smash up a museum. Mesothelioma gets radiation treatment and isn't cancer anymore for the next 90 days.
That's true. He can't do anything.
Yeah.
Ooh. I like the metaphor.
Yeah.
We
and-
are the asbestosing you
Yeah.
for the next 30 minutes.
which we'll dive into more details about later. And then Superman helps Bizarro and goes, hey, look, he helps him up off the ground and goes, see, I'm a good guy. just because he helped him up.
No,
and then
he blocked the.
Oh, he did block.
ray
He did
thing.
block the gun. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The gun ray.
He blocked the gun, then helped him
Newt
up,
gun ray.
and went, "See, I'm good." And he was like, "Oh, you are good." And then we played Shake the Baby with Mesothelioma, and then they got put back on their. Oh, and then Superman also handed him a live grenade. And
that just had gas come out. Somehow.
yeah, it was a live grenade.
Yeah,
Still technically true. It's just a smoke grenade.
I agreed with all of our assessments of just to expect. It looked like a fucking like frag World War II frag grenade or something, where they're just like
And he just
a parting gift
Pulls the pin. Yeah,
and kills
and then he
him.
goes back to his
The
world.
explosion
where,
was reused footage from.
yeah.
and then Superman confronts Mr. Cancer and says like, "Oh, you have community service. I got an idea." Throws him back onto Bizarro's world to be his friend for the next 90 days.
Yeah. Where he's got to evade Space
Rocks.
Bugsy.
And, yeah. Space Bugsy from
Oh, Space Bugsy.
like a Starship Troopers alien.
Yeah.
That's
Predator head.
That's
thing,
essentially it.
That is essentially it.
There's not really a lot of
Not much
unique
happened.
things that happen, but they happened a lot.
I like that there's like an 8-minute fight between Bizarro and Superman. And like,
But also you don't watch it.
no, you hear a lot of it. And you
Yeah.
see some of it.
It's
you see
happening.
like 3 chapters of it.
Yeah.
You see him
destroying
smash up a museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the official synopsis. I'll read it exactly how it says it here. Mr. Mxyptlk, they spelled it wrong, gets into trouble with the rulers of his planet, which is inaccurate because it's not a planet. Well, maybe it is. I don't fucking care. When he enlists Bizarro's help to create havoc on Earth.
Interesting.
All right.
I would not consider that an episode about him
Yeah.
entirely. Like
I feel like they were trying to bring back Mr. Mxyptlk and also bring back Bizarro. And they're like, well, we could just do it in one. And I think I like the idea that he kind of like finds the loophole of, well, I'm still bothering a Superman, but it's like a fucked up Superman. So it still counts and I can do shit. But then once we get to the point where he's like, my master plan, I'll just make bad Bizarro Superman fight Superman. Then the rest of the episode, when it takes so long to get to that, and then when we do get to that, it's like it just sits there doing that for forever. Like there's no really expansion of the plot. Right. It just keeps happening.
the episode's definitely not about any one character.
Rock. It's about Rock Lois.
Yeah. And me like you funny head trick or whatever you said.
Yeah.
I'll give it that there's a lot of good comedy bits in it and like random moments that are like, okay, that's actually legitimately funny, like him blasting through walls or just the way he flies or the way he like does that weird booga booga run.
He lie like rug.
Yeah, and all that stuff. But it's like in between all these really weird things. And yeah, what were you going to say, Brian?
I fucking don't remember now.
All right, cool.
This is like my first exposure to Bizarro. And I have questions.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to those.
Go ahead, Brian.
Wasn't Mr. Mesothelioma, wasn't he like banned from Earth?
He's just got put in. Oh, never mind. I was thinking of Bizarro. So that's something that this episode kind of like very loosely does is I'm pretty sure that the deal he makes with Superman in his first episode is he says like you like I'll go away forever if you beat me, if you make me spell my name twice, and then he does it with the airplane smoke and tricks him.
Right.
But then I don't know why it's okay that he can come back if he's just bothering like a different Superman or you're bothering somebody else.
But I don't think it was about
Like,
Superman. I thought it was come back to Earth at all, period.
I guess. Even Superman does a weird dramatic anime point at him and says like, you weren't allowed to come back. Why are you here? And then he says like, well, I'm the parrot from Aladdin, so it's okay. And there was not really a good reason or explanation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for that.
Nor is there really like, I think my main problem with it was the whole episode was how many times, okay, now we're in the tribunal place. Now we're in the museum with the dinosaur or whatever. And each time we were just sitting in that thing for way too long. The whole plot, as Joe summarized, is just Bizarro and Superman fight each other a bunch. They just keep doing it, and not in very interesting ways either. They're just throwing and punching and throwing and punching, and Superman's constantly going, "This is a trick. You shouldn't be doing this." And then Bizarro's constantly going, "I don't like you. You make fun of me. Goodbye.
Why you laugh at me?
Yeah. And I get that for maybe if that was the front half of the episode and something more interesting happened with like the fact that Mxy loses his powers and they do nothing with that. Like they could do a much more like that episode of Star Trek where Q loses his powers and he's like, I got to learn how to live life as a human and stuff. Joe knows what I'm talking about.
Yes.
But they don't do anything. He's just there. He's
there, but now he doesn't have his powers, so
man.
he can't escape from things like getting shaken and getting T-Rex headed and
which is just only done for like comedy beats. They could have done like maybe Mxy's about to be hit by the ray or something like that, like something that would actually murder him.
Maybe Bizarro turns on him.
Yeah, he goes and finds out it was a trick and is going to kill him or something. I don't know. I'm not trying to say I'm a better writer than Paul Dini or Robert Goodman, but this episode was just a little bit whatever.
I mean, it was. Yeah. I thought it was very silly, and like there were bits that we definitely all collectively laughed at, and it was good for that. But I agree that the plot was kind of and the animation was and then which I really want to talk about because when there's like teamed up art studios. Before, you know, it seems like someone does the like pen and someone does the ink or someone does the effects and like someone does the everything else. And this was like, you had like pretty Superman looking animation and then we went full like speed racer anime. Like the thing the first shot was the dude on the train where I was just like, this is a different show. This is a completely different show. And then it cut back to Superman and it was fine. And they just kept doing that. And there's bits where it was just so anime and so clean, and then it went back to
the cavemen in the museum are just like anime characters or whatever.
Yeah, the weird chest hair.
Yeah. Well, when I read the anime studios out, I read them in the reverse order that they are credited in because I wanted to lead up to like the new one that we've never heard of and stuff. But so it is this group Tech Co Ltd was like the main one, and then Jade Animation was the second listed, which makes me think that perhaps this brand new studio they've never worked with before did the whole episode and then they went, ooh, like these like 8 shots did not turn out good. And now they're unavailable to fix them or something. And Jade Animation is available. They can fix them. But then when they got those back, they're like very different looking than the rest of the episode or something like that.
And then it was time to put it out.
Yeah. And then they just had no more time to fix it more or something.
That's I mean, that makes sense, but it was just so jarring, especially where this has been. And again, it has been Coco Dong Yang forever. Everything's been very consistent. We've talked about that to the point where we don't talk about it anymore. But now it's completely different shows, like A-B shots.
Yeah. Are we noticing that more because of the like medium that we're watching it on? Like we're not watching it on Kids WB VHS.
Right. It could
look any different.
I think in like 360 or 480p that probably there's less of a awareness, but it was like there's just one shot where it was kind of like, you know, like the hero shot looking up at Superman, and he was just like, I expected like the speed racer glint off of his like teeth or something like that.
It
was just so
well, there
polished.
was that like the policeman.
Bizarro, don't do it. Haha.
I'm not your real father. When they cut to the policeman close up of his helmet before it pans down to his like hand about to pull the trigger, and it does do a little like swing, like glint on his helmet for no reason. Yeah.
I don't think I remember that.
I don't know. I remembered the animation in this being worse than it was, I guess. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It was still kind of weird. It wasn't necessarily like bad. It was just unexpected in some spots. And I think that they did a good job in the front like chunk where we're on the Bizarro world. Like Bizarro looked perfectly normal, like or as normal as Bizarro
perfectly
can look.
abnormal.
Yeah, and that's the very first shot where it's just like a underwear flying past the screen, like we just see his ass in the cape or whatever. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, he gave us the episode opened with the Mike Tyson.
I just want somebody to animate like a hot dog, like between Bizarro's arms and legs. It looks like he's just like laying like unconscious on a
like, where
hot
are you
dog
going with
rocketing
this?
through space.
He flies around like Theoden from Lord of the Rings, but like Theoden before he's like good, like alive again. He kind of looks like him too. Like,
True.
not to like scoot ahead into jumping into some of the characters and my lack of like exposure to Bizarro, but like I do have questions about Bizarro.
Just do it.
And okay, he also is like the drunk uncle, kind of a little bit, and it's interesting for. I'll tie this into the animation. His hair blows around in the wind in kind of a gross way, like in a like I don't shower kind of way.
I'm sure he doesn't. Yeah.
But like, why his
And not anyone else's.
Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't notice that. So
he's the only one that doesn't like pomade his hair.
I guess so. I mean, Superman's little like floopy blows around sometimes. But
It was like actively though, like even just in a sitting frame where he's not doing anything. It's just like
moving.
the spider legs are.
I mean, that could have just been like an inconsistency between like frames or something. But
Maybe
I don't know.
we'll blame that one on Group Tacco Limited.
Yeah, exactly. Not Jade, not our perfect,
You weren't supposed to-
beautiful Jade.
Animate the hair.
redo. What other Bizarro questions? Yeah.
Why is Bizarro the way he is?
He was a clone of Superman that Lex Luthor made, and that was just looked and sounded and acted exactly like Superman, basically. And then it turned out something went wrong with the cloning process, and he just started deteriorating into
he was like, yeah, he had like I would say like a degradation of like visual and also like
and mental
cognizant-
faculties.
yeah. But the thing that gets me is like, why
And
did
Joe's
it only
trying really hard not to say something controversial.
Yep.
Controversial, Bizarro mental state.
My question is, why didn't it go further? It's just like he
reached a certain point and just
there's
stopped.
like, cool,
Yeah.
that's it. That's
I
our
don't know.
limit to mental decline.
Yeah, he doesn't die at some point just by existing. He just, oh, whoops, this is it. I don't know. That's the answer, Joe.
Okay. I'm going to have to live with that.
It
one.
also, there is no explanation for why his costume's a different color. Like,
And the
his
logo
body
changes,
deteriorates. Yeah,
like-
the logo's fucked up. Yeah, I don't know. I think that like conceptually, this is a funny idea, and a lot of it was funny in the way that like these are the two like comedy characters, and they're like doing funny shit. The whole before we watched the episode, I was even thinking of our big complaint last time with Mxyptlk was that he has like phenomenal cosmic powers and he barely did anything interesting. And then in this one, he used them to teleport Bizarro to Earth, and then he lost his powers. So he also didn't do anything cool at all. Like, and this is the second time we've seen him, and they're still not like letting him do a thing.
Underutilizing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean,
But maybe that's, I don't know, maybe if it was just his episode, they would have found more opportunities. But I feel like with how,
they didn't the first time.
well, yeah, I mean, they're coming back to it, I guess. But the whole thing with like each scene lasting too long was like we're in the tribunal and the guy is talking like this slow the whole time. And I'm like, oh my God, get on with whatever you're saying. Like, you're wasting half the episode just trying to say two sentences. And
Well, if
every
he
scene
wasn't
kinda
doing that,
felt
we'd
like
have to keep on watching Bizarro and
Superman
Superman
fight each other. Yeah,
It's
that's all that's going on. But
no
then
punches,
give more
just like
time.
there was
Yeah.
one point when they're rolling toward the power tower thing, Tower of Power,
Yes.
where for like a single frame, I think it was Bizarro had Superman in a headlock for like one frame
Yeah.
before he threw him up into the air or something.
There was a
I was
lot
like,
of
oh,
that.
different move. Like, look at that.
There was a lot of that where you blink, like literally blink and miss what just happened. Where like when Clark Kent falls out the window, falls into a manhole perfectly, comes back up out the other manhole as Superman goes back into the Daily Planet. Bizarro's like about to like attack Lois Lane or something, and then Superman flies up. I was like staring at it because I knew it was about to happen. I was trying to catch it happening. He flies up and grabs Bizarro's like arm or something, completely like 180, flips him and throws him. But that all happens in like 4 frames. It just goes and it's done. And I'm like, holy shit! Like what?
Because it's a lot of work if you want to animate the whole movement.
I mean, they could have at least like I don't know, slowed it down or something to show you what the hell's happening. But there were a couple of things like that.
There was also a good, I think it was Bizarro move where he like hopped forward a couple times, then like jumped and did the Super Mario 64 ground pound.
Oh,
move.
yeah. like a flip. Yeah, I did appreciate that like entrance to his like fucked up Fortress of Solitude, where
feet first through the ice.
Yeah. And then there's the opening. I don't think I'd caught this before because you don't know. I knew it was about to happen, that he was going to do that move. Was the opening shot of the ice has just a bunch of holes in the ground where he's done that already in the past.
I didn't notice
like over
that.
and over again. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess overall, like it was a fun episode. It was really plot thin, no questions at all, but it wasn't bad.
I kind of wish there was a little more to the point of Superman really did just go like, Bizarro's gonna be Bizarro and I shouldn't kill him. Like that's me. That would be mean of me. So I'm just gonna like out of sight, out of mind, put him on another planet and just like let him be there where he can't hurt anybody. And I'm basically like tricking a child into like, no, it's okay. You can stay here and it's fine. And he still does that by the end of this episode, but they don't have any sort of beat about like, that's kind of inhumane and not okay that you're doing that. And even Mxyptlk is kind of right that he's like, no, he tricked you into going here.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. So I kind of wish they did something with that instead of it just being like back to like they basically do the like Simpsons like reset the status quo at the end of the episode where like Bizarro is on Bizarro's world. Mixie is going to be there for the next 90 days, but he probably won't be there by the next time we see him or whatever. So it's like, okay, what was the point of the episode?
Bizarro understands like normal people speaking, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Was the one line of Superman trying to be like, no, me is good, like just trying to
like rug,
get on.
I guess
his
trying
level,
to get trying anything. Yeah, I guess.
Okay,
I don't know.
It's kind of weird, out of place. Tried it once.
Yeah, he did try it once, and then as soon as Bizarro saw him take a hit of spiral circle ray, then he's like, wait, everything am good now. I hold grenade for you.
Yeah, I mean, they really don't treat Bizarro well, honestly.
Well, to be fair too, like the last episode, he was like destroying the world as he kind of does. He saves the wrong thing, and
does he know he's doing it?
I don't know.
He's like,
the lack of development is kind of an interesting take on that.
Yeah, well, he last time he found out that Krypton exploded and Superman came to Earth, and that's what he's supposed to do. So he starts trying to make Metropolis into Krypton and then blow it up so that he can be like Superman. And so he's just innocently doing this thing that he thinks he needs to do to be Superman or whatever. But in this one, he's like, it's basically the same thing, but it just didn't feel motivated by anything. I don't know. It's hard to get a grip on why anyone's doing what they're doing.
Very standalone episode, it feels like.
Really is.
But what's the answer?
If you take it out of context, everything's okay. But
yeah, I guess. I'll tell you the cast of it, though, if you want to hear it.
I do want to hear it.
Yeah.
I'm telling Joe specifically.
Oh, fuck.
This is Tim Daly as Superman / Clark Kent / Bizarro, which leads me to believe they're telling me those are all the same person. I'd believe that Clark Kent is Bizarro. That makes sense. He basically looks like Bizarro with glasses. So we have Dana Delaney as Lois Lane, Gilbert Gottfried as Mxyptlk, Jennifer Hale as Gispitlessness, which is misspelled Gispittisness.
I wouldn't have known.
In the credits. What idiots.
Yeah.
She was previously voiced by Sandra Bernard, and Jennifer Hale, who voiced her here, previously voiced female vacationer in The Promethean. There was a scene where the Promethean is like big rock man's coming down from space. He's gonna like, what's it, belly flop into the ocean?
Oh, yeah.
And there's like a cruise ship nearby, and the lady's like, oh, a shooting star or something. That was her.
Classic.
Joanna Cassidy as Maggie Sawyer, who was the female cop that showed up to shoot shit. We have Suzanne Blakesley as teacher, which I assume is the woman
in the museum.
In the museum. This is her only DCAU acting credit. She played Madam Web in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions video game. She was Ladysmith in the BioShock video games, one of the corrupted, fucked up underwater people. Maleficent in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, so I guess I would gotta play the Hydra's Back song or something. She also is Timmy's mom and Wanda on The Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh my God.
But I didn't really listen for it at all.
Well, she also said like 3 words.
Yeah,
And then
like, what an interesting person to hire for this. Yeah.
they had a throw off.
Yeah, they sure did. I think that was the same exact dinosaur from the Kryptonite episode also that he fought.
Oh my God, yes. Without a doubt.
Yeah. That they just like, oh, Superman fucked this up, but we fixed it and put it back. And then Bizarro and Superman just destroy the shit out of it again.
If it were a movie, there would have been a good, like, right before they get thrown into the museum, the guy just finally putting the last piece together, just brushing it off like, it's finally done.
And then they crash through it.
They kind of did with the teacher being like, this, before man became all civilized, and then like, boom, crash, everybody dies.
Yeah.
That was a really good beat, like comedy beat, where he goes like, sorry, citizen, or excuse me, citizen,
And throws him.
bursts it over Superman's head. Yeah. Frank Welker as Crypto. He's back. He was doing, he's Freddy and Scooby-Doo. I think he was also the voice of the train guy, the anime train guy. I don't know where Superman is. And then we have Corey Burton as Stand Owner, who I think was the guy that
The magazine stand with
but
the
he didn't
electric-
say anything. He just went like, and ran away. Did he say anything? I don't
Voice
know.
acting
I guess
credits.
I don't think so.
Someone had to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was previously Binko in World's Finest Part 1, and he's Brainiac and all the Brainiac shit.
Where does Mr. Mesothelioma's name come from? Like, where did that originate?
I can tell you.
I bet you can.
We did a whole Mesothelioma video a few months ago about his entire like history and how he got
recognition.
powers and everything. In the very first, like I think it's in like 1943 or 1944 or something, Mxyptlk comic appearance.
Which did we see, the original comic?
No, that was his second comic. That's in Trips because it's the second episode. You see,
Okay.
but yeah. So in the very first comic, you see him in a like fifth dimensional library of cool shit, and he's just walking around, and he pulls a book off the wall that says Mxyptlkology on it, and that's just like where he takes the name from. But it's kind of one of these mysterious DC Comics lore things of like, then is that his real name? Like, what's his real name and all this stuff.
Also, what does that
Yeah.
represent?
It's a nonsense word. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
Cool.
Fifth dimensional magic
So they can keep
bullshit.
on spelling it wrong and it doesn't matter.
If you listened to how I pronounced it, he was originally Mr. Mxyptlk in the first few comics, and then the guy that wrote the next appearance of him forgot how you spell it and spelled it Mxyptlk, and it's been Mxyptlk ever since then.
Wow.
So
So maybe that was the joke in like trying to pronounce his name.
Mxyptlk, yeah.
Yeah.
You'll give yourself a hernia. Yeah.
Good update.
Well, here's some trivs for you. When Bizarro smashes a totem pole against Superman and chases him outside the museum, the pole is clearly intact, then goes back to being broken in the next shot. My question with all of that was, why did that do anything to him? Why didn't he hit him with the pole? I guess because Bizarro's doing it with Superman's strength, but you would think that the pole would just break because the pole isn't as strong as Bizarro. I don't fucking know how this works.
Man,
It's a
I got
cartoon.
I had a thought like that when he crashed through the like dinosaur skeleton initially coming down and like breaking all of it. And then Bizarro lifted up like a chunk of rib or something that and was going to smash on him. I was like, he already smashed the whole thing. It's clearly not going to hurt him.
Yeah. Or anything any like normal object that they hit each other with doesn't like inherit the strength or durability of the person holding it. So why does it hurt them?
The electricity tower thing also.
Yeah.
He gets shocked by it and Superman's like, oh, this doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so that does something, but then wraps him up in metal.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I
okay,
can't get out. Yeah.
Unwrap it.
Yeah.
Like,
he's not even really wrapped. He's just got like a U shape around part of him.
it was funny to like kind of tie him up in it and then just start beating him. While he was doing that. I mean, that was kind of funny, but
I think on a similar line, my question is, Bizarro spent so much time throwing him like in the air or whatever, and it's like,
and then he just doesn't stop himself.
Why doesn't he stop? Like what?
Yeah.
How can
We've had
Superman
that-
fly, and how can he not stop himself when being thrown? It seems like he should just like a brick wall, just stop. Someone goes to throw him and he just stops.
do you think he has to concentrate on flying?
This is the thing is I think we either have had this conversation before or
we've
we
had a
started
similar
to, where we kind of came to the conclusion that Superman's powers are all based on, like, he doesn't just always have, every power turned on or whatever. Like, he has to concentrate on like, I got to do this thing. So my thought is that as stupid as it is, as Bizarro throws him through the air, punches him through the air or something, he's like just like stunned enough in the moment of like, what's going on, that by the time he realizes what's happening, he then could catch himself but doesn't have time to, or something like that.
Every time, like throwing him like several hundred feet in the air.
He's falling
so Superman
far,
either just has really bad reaction time, or
I think so.
like can't focus well enough and needs Adderall.
He doesn't have good reaction time unless he's fighting a holographic ninja that the Toy Man is using against him.
I feel like there's like a missing, like, Newton's physics law that says that he has to hit something before he can stop and fly by himself.
yeah.
So really, like, if you have good enough, if you're strong enough, just
throw him into
space. Have good enough aim, throw him into space. He can theoretically never come back.
The inertia.
Unless he like hits a planet.
This is
Speaking
the shit.
of that, though,
this is the shit that I think about.
It keeps me up.
Well, I got more coming. Don't
Well,
worry.
you had a question about the like breathing in space thing.
Why does he need? Okay, so apparently Superman needs a spacesuit.
Yeah.
Why?
Because if he could breathe in space, he would be too all powerful.
Yeah, but there's times where he's like
the one that would do
flying.
it.
Thing,
He's flying around the moon though. Like he's been in space.
Yeah,
without a
is there
spacesuit,
air
and he's
on
been
Krypton?
fine.
You both said things.
Go Brian. Go.
Didn't we see him like fly around the moon without a spacesuit? Like there's been like once or twice where he's been like past the Kármán line and been fine.
I believe the only time so far that we've seen him go to space without a spacesuit is that the asteroid magnet gun that Granny Goodness had in the Supergirl episode. Yeah, these are words, aren't they,
name.
Joe? And the asteroid's coming down, and Superman's like, there's no time for me to change. I gotta just go. And I guess he held his breath or some shit. But every other time he's been in a suit.
One, Granny Goodness does nothing but bake delicious cookies. Two,
for her children.
so Krypton has air then.
Yes.
Yeah.
So aren't there more people?
They're dead. They exploded.
It blew up.
Why don't we just transport some people there?
It blew up.
It was exploded.
No. Oh, I think you meant the people exploded.
But Bizarro's world,
They were breathing too much air and they popped.
but Bizarro's world
I
also
guess,
must have oxygen.
Yeah. Well, it was funny when we saw it a couple times in like flashbacks in this, which by the way were animated by TMS every time we saw like a Bizarro's World episode clip, and it would just be this like kind of stark like, I shouldn't have shown that to us what it could look like or whatever. But where we see Superman drop off Bizarro on the planet originally, and Superman's wearing his spacesuit because he's doing space stuff, but Bizarro's just in Bizarro costume. And where did I think we had this conversation before too, like where did Bizarro sit in the rocket? On Superman's lap? There's not two seats in there. What's going on?
Don't worry
he just
about
held
it.
onto the back of the rocket and whoa, all the way there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He just can't breathe
Okay.
because reasons.
The end.
Why can he shoot lasers from his eyes? I don't know.
That's a good question.
The square planet in Bizarro's Fortress of Solitude is a reference to the Silver Age Bizarro world, Hooray, which is Earth backwards, a literal cube-shaped planet where Bizarro and other Bizarro clones lived.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Bizarro clone of a clone.
Yeah, he makes other like Bizarro Loises and stuff like that. Yeah. Mxyptlk's line, "Fish gotta swim and birds gotta fly, I've gotta bug that jerk till I die," is a parody of the lyric from the classic song Can't Help Lovin' That Man from the 1927 musical Showboat. Fish gotta swim, birds gotta fly, I gotta love one man till I die. I'm sure that all the children watching Kids WB picked up on that.
That
Oh
was,
yeah.
I remember back when that came out, that was fire.
Yeah. Brian does remember when that came out. He was 20 years old. One of the pieces of evidence brought to the tribunal that Brian noticed is a copy of Action Comics number 80, the second ever appearance of Mr. Mxyptlk, like this episode.
Mxyptlk.
That was a piece of evidence that I used in our Mixie video for like that he's always the same guy no matter what we see him in, comic, movie, TV episode, etc. Was that they're even referencing that comic or whatever. So Yeah. In the video commentary for the first Mxy episode, Mxy is Pixelated, Bruce Timm and Paul Dini mentioned how they thought Little Big Head Man was only good on paper, but that it ended up being obnoxious. So
What?
What does Little Big Head Man mean?
he's a little big head man.
Little man with a big
Okay.
head.
He's a little man, big head, Bizarro talk.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
And they're like, they make that the title of the episode.
Yeah.
What are they,
What do you
fucking
think it
podcasters?
No one's going to talk about this in the future.
No.
There's no way they can make fun of this.
Well, the last I've got is when Mxyptlk gets turned into a coconut tree, there's a full screen frame of a fire explosion, which is reused footage from Where There's Smoke when Volcana blasts Superman with a fireball in the parking lot.
Wow.
This is used again when she is restored to her normal self.
Wow.
The whole scene, I was just thinking about like my cousin Vinny.
Yeah, she shows up to go, the tires were a
Yeah.
different brand of tires. Yeah.
With the
And
like
they're like,
smaller,
what are you talking about?
smaller Joe Pesci man.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It is very similar. That was also a pretty anime shot where she gets shocked by lightning and turns into the tree. Was
Yeah.
like just something out of what's that show that you Shin-Chan? It was kind of Shin-Chan-ish.
Was it? Shin-Chan's pretty
know.
bad animation.
It's time for Keen Effects. What did you notice, Joe or Brian?
Oh, Bizarro's hair.
So keen. No, that's the anti-keen sound. I think the only thing that I thought was legitimately even mildly keen in this was
The ray guns?
when Mixie's like, "Oh, the ray gun was okay, I guess, Ronald Reagan." But when Mixie's like, "What? Those fuckheads are never gonna find out I'm doing this shit," and then he gets like surrounded by like planets and stars and lights and genie shit, and then gets transported to the genie place. That was kind of keen.
Transported to the genie place.
Genieplace.com.
Order your genieplace.com now.
And get a free Mesothelioma edition. Call now.
Yeah, for me, the Ray things, maybe any scene that was animated by LTD.
LTD Nutsack Man.
Yeah.
There was the flip that you were talking about that before throwing him through the wall.
Was not keen.
if it would have been slowed down, it would have been cool.
I do like all the shots of Bizarro very awkwardly flying, even though those aren't really like an effect. It's just
The rock rolling down the hill. Maybe no. I'm trying.
Moving on.
There was
Not much.
in the music. There was like a kind of like minor key weird Superman theme when we saw the Bizarro world.
It's not a
both
keen
times.
effect.
It is keen. It's keen music or something. I don't
That's
know.
a Jordan
We'll
thing.
come up with a better music segment later. There was no CGI in this, luckily, so we don't get to do CGI or CG-nay.
Yeah, that was a segment I think we didn't need to do.
I think we sure did, but it'll come up more later. Superman's powers. Did he do anything new? No, he didn't really even much do
Fucking
anything.
didn't do anything
at
at all.
Just kind of punched, and he got jellyfished by the
Yeah.
the thing. the
Nothing
electricity
new.
Thing.
Old hat. Next
Old
topic.
hat.
He used throw.
Yeah. He was just
It
button.
attacked itself.
He used unwrap.
I think this episode was just like it was like an OG Game Boy or like I guess like Nintendo Mortal Kombat match between two people who only know how to button mash.
Button mash. Yeah.
It's just throw,
Yeah.
punch, throw.
Stop doing that
throw,
same one
throw,
over and over
throw,
again. It's
throw.
bullshit. Yeah.
Has he put a live grenade in someone's hand and pulled the pin?
That was a lucky finishing move.
It really was.
Do you think that Superman knew that grenade was going to be gas?
That's what I was wondering, 'cause he just reached into her belt and
Like,
took it. Yeah.
Yeah. What if he was just like, oh, finally, we're going to do away with Bizarro, and then just turn it into smoke?
I totally knew
that'll
that
help.
was smoke. Yeah. I was gas,
Also,
of
Superman, maybe stop fondling ladies without their consent.
course. Yeah. It was also weird that they kept shooting the Ray shit in his dick. Like they aimed nowhere else.
Shoot him in the penis. It's his weak spot. It's everyone's weak spot.
They
Stop
roll
doing
up
it.
in those weird futuristic looking tanks and they're like, prepare the penis ray. And then
Like, they roll in with like artillery to the teeth, and he's like, "Shoot him with your pew pew."
yeah, why did they have those?
When
at
you
all?
think
Yeah.
about how the characters are built also, like it's actually a very good shot. The target's up here, like on his chest. You're hitting the smaller thing, really.
Hitbox,
It's kind of impressive, really.
Yeah.
Like it's a weak point. They're good.
How strong Superman 1 through 10?
Fucking, I don't know, 1, maybe 2.
He did fine, but what was
Did
the
he?
point?
Physically strong or like as an opponent strong?
Either is bad.
Kind of both.
As an opponent, it's pretty bad. Physically strong, he just spent the entire time throwing Bizarro through walls.
Well, I think he got
mean, that-
thrown more.
Yeah.
He got his ass kicked.
Yeah, he kind of did.
I'll give him a 4.
Weird. Bad choice.
Okay. 3.
Better choice.
Oh God, I don't care. I don't know what fucking object from the episode to choose.
Just go. There's a few obvious ones.
3 big rock. He threw a big rock at him. I don't
Nice.
fucking know.
I'm gonna give him 2 convertible trains. Joe, what about you?
Does he ripped the lid off? The lid of
That's
the
the
train.
prettiest shot in the fucking show.
I'll give him 3 like Hasbro like toy Jeep, like child Jeeps that Mixie's driving down a train track for some reason. The like play school
that's a good one.
plastic car that he was driving.
That is a good one. I guess 2 coconuts from the palm tree.
Yeah. Real like kind of football shaped coconuts.
They were.
too. It was a little weird.
Did the judgy people have any gavels?
I think they just had lightning hands.
Oh, yeah, it's too strong. 2 coconuts.
2 coconuts.
It's not really a whole lot else. I mean, I was like thinking about the museum. There's like, okay, there's bones.
Dinosaur.
clearly
We
that's-
already
There's
talked
like
about it
there's
all, yeah.
there's the grenades, there's the hairy Neanderthal
There's the ray
people, dinosaur bones, ray guns, police
There's all the stone stuff that
vehicles.
Bizarro uses to make people out of.
Yeah, stone televisions,
There's the totem pole.
totem poles.
There's
that
a
would've been-
magazine stand.
Voiced by Corey Burton. He actually
He makes a
voiced
great
credits
paper
too.
impression.
Yeah. Where's Clayface?
He's the Rock.
The rock rolling down the hill.
Yeah.
Any of the rock people, he's just hiding out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you have a better one, Joe. He can be anything, but usually if it's kind of Clayfacey, it's better.
That's fair. Can't go with like the higher elders of
Oh yeah, the tribunal guys.
Maybe.
the one on the left.
Why not?
The one on the left that didn't say anything yet. Okay.
He's bald, I'm bald, we're all
I wonder who
bald.
it could be.
Who's the baddest bald of all? It's James and Brian's final call. The balderarchy.
I get. Well, the tribunal guys were all bald as
But they
well.
weren't bad.
They were bad to Mixie, who was a pseudo protagonist of the episode.
I'm going bald.
Joe.
Yeah, that's true. We could just give it to Joe.
Joe. Joe.
Did we
Joe.
do that before as a joke? No, McGurk got it last time. Okay, let's see. Little fucker. Little big head man. Oh, I can't fucking type at this angle. Is it just Mixie again? Is it uninteresting? Is it not funny?
I mean, it's
There wasn't a whole lot in this.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot of people.
The bad guys were
Bizarro's
Bizarro,
got animated
Mixie.
hair. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Alright.
any of the police people might have been bald. They just had helmets
that's
on.
true. I'm just gonna, I guess, put
Yep.
Mxyptlk.
And high elders.
Yeah.
Books or hip hop?
I forget which ones I have buttons for these days. I'll give it books.
I disagree.
I think
Okay.
I'm going.
That's fine.
I'm going Team Joe here. I'm also going to say hip hop.
Hip hop on this one.
All right. You can do that.
Yeah, we
it's
can.
not top 10. Is it bottom 10?
No.
No, it wasn't like bad.
'Cause it was
enough or
funny.
Didn't make us angry.
It just
Yeah.
wasn't-
Am I going
like-
to make it to 10 episodes?
Probably.
Maybe.
You already have
I mean,
5 on here.
Okay. I don't know how many more times these characters come up. I mean,
I sure do.
I know. You do. With how?
We'll find other workarounds.
Okay, we can do that. Say that means I have to put them somewhere.
Yeah, Joe, you have Demon's Quest Part 1 at 3, Demon's Quest Part 2 at 4, Avatar Go at 5, Mxyptlk at 27 and Double Talk at 50 what? So what's it above or below or anything?
Let's go like 32 on this one.
Okay. Little big head, man.
Mixing pots was less strong than the little.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, especially, I mean, aside from getting the powers taken away, that's not the point.
Yeah,
like,
less
he doesn't
strong
even do
and
any
less
good,
strong.
funny
Yeah.
riddles in this one.
And you're not putting it on the top 10, Brian.
Absolutely
I would say.
not.
No. Well, then I guess we do the final 2024 mail segment now. And then we need to pee break before we do that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'll play this song when we all pee.
That yop. That one small extra yop. Put it over.
I'm going to pee now.
What we drop? Our weekly yops. Oh yeah, those. Into the comment box. First, there sure was a lot. Now Jamie's mad. Too bad we're all. At least I am. Just Dylan Pollock.
The song ended, but I'm still here. I don't have to pee. Maybe James will find this later. What's something funny that I can do? Wonder if this will get edited out. Is anyone else there? Hello. Feel kind of like Bizarro here.
Joe.
Oh, he's back.
Can't believe you don't have to pee.
No, I'm good right now.
My God.
I mean, maybe I did.
Oh, fuck.
I knew what you were doing.
Hey, man, do you mind if I pee in your office?
Yeah, where did I hide the pee? No, I'm good.
You sure?
I'm good.
You got a Celsius can you could pee in at all costs.
Yeah.
At all costs.
At all.
That's how you say that.
It will cost you all.
Well, whatever they just said, on top of that, I'll say if you want to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of World's Finest Part 3, you can send a short-ass email, an email for your ass, or a 60-second voice message to batwagonpod@gmail.com. Or leave a comment on today's episode on the Pod Tower YouTube channel or Spotify.
Double points if you do all of these things.
But please triple less points if you don't don't spoil anything past this episode for Brian. I will say, since next episode of the podcast will happen in the new year in like a couple weeks, which we'll talk about at the end of the podcast episode, whatever you send in as like, talking about little big head man, we won't hear for a while, or for what Reber, I'm just gonna say Reber. That's not what
Rebar?
Rebranding?
Don't worry about
Rebirth?
No.
The Grim Reaper?
No. Anyway, James fucked up and started saying the name of the next episode is what just happened there.
Oh.
Well, Banana Man says okay.
Okay!
But also, Banana Man says okay. These were two separate comments. One's lowercase o and one's uppercase o.
Ooh.
So I'm not really sure what to make of that or what's okay.
This is so deep.
I know.
But I'm going to take it as
going.
2 wins. This is 2 victories for 2024.
Yeah. So many okays. We got there, and then he said it twice. This is from Tony Salerno. Hello, Bebo, Brian. And Jonah Hex, James. We got it. I don't know which episode my message will be read in. It's this one. Don't worry, Brian. I won't spoil anything. I just wanted to say how much I enjoy the pod. I started with episode 1 and then skipped to the Father's Day STAS episode. My question, if the DCAU was not an option, what show if any, would you do a rewatch for? It could be anything. Animated, live action, superheroes, anything. Anyway, thanks for listening to me yop/yap. P.S. Did you like my nicknames for you, Brian? Might not get them. My bad. Thanks, Tony. You got Jonah Hex. It's okay.
I got Bibbo.
No, Bebo.
Oh, Bebo.
It's a different character.
Oh, no, I didn't get Bebo. Did I get Bebo?
Bebowski.
Yeah.
Bebo Bilgins.
Bebo Bilgins of Lord of the Rings. From The Habit. I don't know what would you want to watch?
You got to take the rangs back to murder.
Yeah, this is like just offshoot enough that.
Oh,
it's not
that was like
copyright.
another comment I had about the high elders. Why are they like Norwegian?
Yeah, I don't know.
That was not Norwegian.
They had like Scandinavian.
They had
accents,
some Hingadingadurg and stuff.
That was like Swiss German.
Okay.
It's totally different.
Show.
Rewatching shows? I love rewatching shows. Over the Garden Wall. That's an every year kind of thing.
That one. Yeah.
Fucking just finished Schitt's Creek and I want to go back. That was great.
Schitt's Creek was good.
Sometimes it was terrible, but infrequently.
You had I kept seeing on TikTok there was this for sale the entirety of Over the Garden Wall on VHS, and I almost bought it for you, but I kept looking at it thinking like this feels very like bootleg, like someone just made this, like it's not actually supporting like the people that made Over the Garden Wall as far as I know.
Also,
so I didn't want to buy that.
I don't want VHS.
And you don't have a VCR, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's more just like a neat thing, but you know.
I'm not familiar with that show. Is it an animated show?
It is.
Yeah, that's my.
I was going to tell you to pick an animated and a non-animated, but
you
animated.
We could rewatch the entirety of Garden State.
The movie?
the one movie with Zach Braff. Yeah, I don't know. There's other shows that if we get to the end of this, we've talked about doing. If we get to the end of this, when we get to the end of this, we've talked about potentially doing, but that's only if we're not like so burnt out by this that we're like, no, never again, goodbye.
I think I'd be interested in doing, and we've talked about this, like doing something
in Coach
different.
Yeah.
Doing not doing just like a video review kind of.
We'll watch
thing.
Star Trek: The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and Voyager.
Do we really just bring back the Tuesday night movie review?
Yeah, we just do Tuesday night movie review.
And we just do movies?
Yeah. It is in a podcast format that would probably be much better and easier to do.
Yes, it would.
And people might actually care about it. Anyway, this is from Eric LeBeau, Little Big Head Man, or looks like we got that Bizarro Christmas special after all. Thank you to everyone for lending Croc your speed in hopes that he gets to LexCorp in time. This isn't going to make any fucking sense to Joe. Here we go.
Man, we haven't seen Mixie since Pants. How time flies. It feels like everything comes to a screeching halt towards the end of this episode and kind of makes it feel like half of what it's supposed to be. But just imagine if that gas grenade was the wrong kind of grenade and accidentally blew Bizarro's head clean off. Yep. You know, after 3 months and change, I think I can relate to Mixie and being stuck with a rock head. Speak of the devil, did you give it back to them? Are we safe from the nukes?
Rock.
They gave you something. Let's see. Dear perpetrator owner, thank you for having your not dog return our experimental weaponry. In return, we've provided you with something that should avoid any miscommunications between you two in the future. Signed, LexCorp Cares.
No way.
Let me see this.
No way.
A collar with a speaker? Wait. Croc, try this on.
It's the up dog.
Just do it. There. Try saying something.
Support the Patreon and keep calm and yop on.
It's a Christmas miracle. Ty Templeton bless us, everyone.
Ty Templeton bless us. Thank you. Yeah, well, that's good for you that you don't have to listen to him just go rock anymore, but we'll miss it.
There's an opportunity there because he talked about the grenade for it to be like just something that wasn't expected and to pull the pin and to have like a Looney Tunes crossover there and just have it come out with a flag that says bang or something on it. And
well,
just have
Joker's done that already.
I just want a speaker to pop out and have it play Barbie Girl.
I feel like mesothelioma and
that's never not funny.
Yeah, it's what it is now.
Take that out of context, please.
I wish
mesothelioma, never not funny.
I feel like mesothelioma and Marvin the Martian together in an episode would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He's just a very Looney Tunes guy.
Yeah. And also Marvin the Martian being a very underrated Looney Tunes character.
Agreed.
They should have had the grenade blow up Bizarro's like shoulders up, and he's just like a burnt matchstick that crumbles into dust. And then Mixie gets his powers back while everyone's standing there horrified. Oh my God, like we just murdered Bizarro.
I mean, they were trying to.
It's the smoke comes out and then nothing happens, and there was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you were leading to. This is from the Astral Beast Cometh. Long-time listener, first-time commenter.
The Astral Beast Cometh.
Or almost didn't start because of Bicentennial Man's previous slander against Mr. Mxyptlk. I guess that's you. But after, because you're so old, you see. But after about 9 months of pure joy, has it really been that long since we watched Mxyptlk? I guess.
Yeah.
I only wish I had listened sooner. Due to said slander, I decided my first comment had to be for Little Big Head Man. What luck that it's also the last episode of the year. Thank you, Jumanji and Bicentennial Man, for everything you do. Here's to more joy from the Yoppiest podcast in this here localized space-time. P.S. The subtitles are always peak. Tommy down the wine bar. Thank you.
I think the last one was in like May, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was when we did the ventriloquist episode, I think. Yeah. It's been a while since Joe was here.
Been a while!
This is
you
from...
got called Robin Williams and Bicentennial Man.
I know, yeah. And something Genie and Yago crossover. This next one is from Legacy. Alan, it just says no M from Legacy. Yopton's Log 117.
Ooh. Yopton's Log number 117.
Hello, me am Bizarro Yopton. Me am travel the seas with my pet Yopto and Red Ray. Me have many good treasures on board, like shiny yellow helmet me take from Magic Wizard Man, and cold head with many legs that am complain about wife he no call for long time. Me got cold wife man from fancy picture place, next to man who was crying over him painting that cold head turn into many itty bitty pieces.
Mr. Freeze, bro.
Me now and make a big old poop because me am fly away.
Wow. Brian spent that whole voice message going, what am I listening to? What the fuck is going on?
I couldn't piece that together for the life of me.
Yeah, there's so many layers of these are references to episodes we watched months ago, on top of trying to remember the inside jokes from those podcast episodes, on top of being spoken to us like Bizarro.
Yeah, you think Brian's having a hard time.
LexCorp cares. Scaly dog thing, not the one you think. Hello, this is a plea for the return on my beautiful Brainiac cannon, sent with dread, so much dread. Also, P.S. Hope y'all have a great Christmas and Happy New Year. Thanks for providing all the much-needed fun and laughter.
Oh, gosh.
What a weird, wholesome thing for LexCorp to say to us.
Yeah.
Hello, it is LexCorp, your friend, your companion, your sole advocate for justice in these ever-darkening times. It has been a hard year over here at LexCorp. Box is not performing as we'd liked. The Metallifriend program has had no purchasers despite making you invincible. And Lex's Winter Wonderland still hasn't been visited by Bradford because I assume his heart is dead to Christmas joy. Worst of all, our miniature prototype Brainiac weapon was stolen by a dog. I have to believe it was a dog because if it wasn't, it was the Crocodile Man from Gotham. And last I heard, he was making love to babies. And I just truly cannot believe that exists in the city of Metropolis as well. I would like to ask the dog thing to return the prototype Brainiac weapon. I fear that Lex might kill me if not. It's very sentimental to him. Why did it only say rock? Why did it only say rock? Did it want rocks? Does it need rocks? Did it think it was a rock? We can get you rocks. We can get you so many rocks. Why?
It's a Pokemon named Rock.
Rock.
Obviously. Someone called you Brock before on the thing?
Yeah, I think
Has
so.
that been a thing?
I think so.
Okay, I'm glad. Louisiana Purchase. I like this episode.
It's been a bit.
I do like this episode.
Do you remember
mainly
the Louisiana Purchase?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I do like this episode mainly because my husband and I were like, hey, why is Clark so mean to Bizarro? But now I guess I'd be pretty mad if a weird version of me fucking things up. I'd be like, hey. Or a normal version of me being better at my job than I am because they can think better than me. Screw that guy. Okay, you don't have to read this on the podcast. If you do, I will cry. Thank you for everything. Have a happy holiday. Thanks. I hope it's good crying. You're welcome. Dr. Derp, Little Big Head Man, or Crypto, Home. I'm not the biggest fan of Star Trek The Next Generation. Oh, okay, I guess I don't have to read this one. But one of my favorite episodes is the one where Q gets stripped of his phenomenal cosmic powers. Why the fuck? That's exactly what I said. And is stranded on the Enterprise. It's such a great setup that lends itself incredibly naturally to old Mxyptlk. Too bad that setup is at best a subplot in a much less interesting episode. The only thing more disappointing than how this episode handles Mixie is how it handles Bizarro, one of the most tragic characters on the show reduced to a Patrick Star plot. Was this not included in Bruce Timm's worst of the DCAU list? I can't find that triv that confirms or not. I actually took a screenshot of that the other day, so I will check. I suppose the animation is competent enough, but I find episodes like I've Got Batman in My Basement and Cat Scratch Fever to be easier to stomach. It was, let's see. The Terrible Trio, Cat Scratch Fever, Animal Act, Heavy Metal, I've Got Batman in My Basement, and then a different Superman episode that we haven't gotten to yet. Or Bruce Timm's top worst episodes. His bottom 5 or whatever. This is from Dylan Pollock. Little Big Head Man. Time for another I'll try to read this. Mr. Mxyptlk pod fast de fiad sulf adventure.
Well done.
Thank you.
It's time for the Thoughts of the Week from Dylan Pollock on Little Big Head Man, or Where Am Mxyptlk. Not a lot to say about this one because it's just a goofy, silly stinker of a little episode. Am I the only one who thinks Bizarro kind of sounds like Ed from Ed and Eddie, though, in this one? Also, maybe it's just me, but there was a moment where the police are coming and I went, wait, where's Turpin with Maggie? And then I remembered and I was like, damn you, Dockside! Also, every episode with Bizarro, you just feel like the poor guy just needs to be left alone. He doesn't want to harm anyone. He's just always influenced to by malicious actors. Speaking of malicious, it's time for the question of the week. James fart. James's favorite part.
James's fart.
Neither of these guys are considered top tier, so if you had to pick who has better episodes in general, Bizarro or Mr. Mxyptlk?
Bizarro.
I think also, Bizarro.
I mean, he's had more episodes, and I think they've been all averagely good, except this one was just okay. I just noticed that there's also a comment from Banana Duck that just says quack quack.
What?
But I just really like the avatar. It's a really painterly duck head on a banana body. So congrats, Banana Duck, for that avatar. Ryan Hip,
congratulations.
You're so 2000 and 1990 late. Happy Crimbus to our indistinguishable hosts. Merry Y2K 2.0 to the listener. Hopefully life am good in the new freer. Sorry for the dot wave, no time to convert. Forgive me.
All right. Picture this with your ears. Dig, if you will, a voice message. So I start off by saying something really stupid and unfunny, new for me, I know. Like, it's everybody's favorite, Aladdin, the return of Bizarro. And then I start explaining the joke, like, oh, Gilbert Gottfried, Return of Jafar, whatever. But then radio static comes in, and very brief but recognizable snippets of certain songs pop up, like Smash Mouth All-Star, Def Leppard Promises, Backstreet Boys, Larger Than Life, those kinds of songs. And I come in and out, the songs come in and out, and the static crescendos cuts out, and Joe Elliott from Def Leppard says, let's take it all the way back to 1999, and the voice message ends. That's what I was going to do, but Crimbus is the day after next, so no.
I didn't have time in the future to do that.
That was so fucking meta.
Picture, if you will, with your ears.
Because Prince and Gilbert Gottfried, Aladdin, Prince of Egmont.
Yeah, Prince Boo Boo.
We can tie this around.
Second to last penultimate email comes from Tip Teprikit. Merry Tipmas and a happy new year.
Happy New Year's to you. Almost you're 150. Almost episodes into this shit. You both are huge nerds now, except James, you were already a huge nerd, and Brian, you were already a huge nerd in different ways, but now you're more of a superhero nerd than you were before. And that's all I have to say. Have a Yoppie New Year. That little man had a big head, or whatever happened this week. Bye-bye.
That is my favorite one that I've been here for. That little man had a big head, or whatever happened. That is all that happened.
was the episode.
Wait, what if you just copy Tip Tapricot's synopsis there over Joe's?
Yeah.
So it's like, Joe, tell us what happened
in this episode. That little man had a big head, or whatever. All right, last first comes from Mark Aquino, and it's a big one. It's a year-ending comment, and I'm going to read the whole goddamn thing. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm
he says,
so
okay.
ready.
What if he just said, okay?
Are we popcorn reading this, or?
Yeah, we could do that. Joe can read part of it.
There we go.
Okay, I'll read the first bit.
Here, I'll read some of it, too.
Yeah, you can just make it up. Okay, so I posted the comment for this podcast right when I got the YouTube notification that it uploaded. Same as usual. Cut to an hour or so later, and it's gone completely. Don't know why. YouTube keeps doing this, even though content-wise my stuff never gets too out of control. If this one doesn't last a day, I'm submitting it as an email. Otherwise, happy holidays to you all. But anywho, time to play catch-up. You go, Joe.
Obsession or Buzz and Woody versus Superman or Kangaroo Jack versus Superman or this better be a wake-up call for some of you.
Budcourt's Toyman is still unsettling. This is line by line here. Still unsettling as ever, but this episode was nothing to write home about. It was fine. The next one was more entertaining.
Little Big Head Man or Bizarro lives in Flintstone Land or Narcissism. Thy name is Mxyptlk.
You're not even going to try to read he spelled it right. I just realized that we started this year with the intro to Mr. Mxyptlk and we're ending this year with him too. Make of that what you will. Is that true? Was that the first episode of this year? That can't be right.
You're kidding me.
Let me look at it.
That would be pretty incredible, actually.
I'm just going to go through the videos, scroll all the way back to 12 months ago or whatever. Tell me, Joe, if you see him, if you see Mr. Oh, it's 11 months ago.
There's that one.
Let's see what
It was 11 months ago.
January 5th. Holy shit. That's really cool, actually.
Good for that. Good for this guy for recognizing that. Not going to lie, I'm a fan of Mixie constantly gaslighting poor Bizarro. He was doing just fine on Planet Flintstone, happy with rocks for friends or his Langolier for a pet. Kind of jealous of it, to be honest.
That said, I thought this was a fun episode. The music was peppy, the action was exciting, and Gilbert Gottfried, spelled wrong, was still fun as hell. As Mixie, you spelled Mxyptlk right. Also, when Mixie is called upon by the elders of fifth dimensional kind, it looks like they all live inside the background of a Nintendo 64 game. In their defense, they're supposed to be far more advanced than we are, so maybe our three-dimensional pudding brains don't know how to comprehend it. Oh well, it was still fun.
Boss biggest bear hugs. Boss biggest bear hugs to the #1 podcast hosts in this here multiverse of ours, James Unparalleled P, Strecker, and Brian Baba Booey Manili.
Praise to our Lord and Savior Dylan Pollock. Keep up the great work on your own podcast and remember to tell Gab that she rules. Likewise to all his loyal disciples. Scarlo-E1, Batgirl Fangirl, Scotty Cameron, Wency209, Tip Tapricot, Keen Machine, Jordan Newman, Zane Beatty, Chris Knife, Lanola Cola, Juan Pedro, Ashley Touch and Scrudge, The Banana Family, Hex Lex, Eric LeBeau, The Banana Man-Bat, Austin Trousers, Slacks Payne, Ryan Hip, Peter Pantaloons, Nick Sorensen, Kyle the Kyle, and of course all the Awesome Sauce listeners of this Yoppie community of ours. You're all the absolute best. Don't you ever forget that. I guess you're reading this big paragraph here, Joe.
Yeah. So after the war last week, we all had a big old holiday party. Everyone in this Yoppie community of ours were there. Those who say they weren't there are just too hungover to remember it. Just too hungover to remember. It wasn't dirty despite Bizarro Mark's joke. It was a Caddyshack reference, Brian.
I want to put a pin on that, a note on that. I ended last episode saying, because there was a big orgy or whatever that all these characters were supposedly having after winning the Banana War. And you were like, don't have an orgy if my dogs are there. And what I was trying to say was, oh, well, are they getting laid? Are they laying each other? And what I meant by that was like, oh, maybe each individual person has a different like person that comes in and has sex with them so that they're not having sex with each other. But you thought I was asking if the dogs were fucking each other, and I wasn't. I just want to make that clear.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway, continue, Joe.
But the party was great. Lots of merriment to have been made, sharing love and positivity, reflecting on the year. It was a major transitional year for me with finally graduating from college. But seriously, as the new year approaches and uncertainty looms, I genuinely believe that the only way we can get through what is to come is to be there for ourselves and for one another. That's my wish for you all going into 2025. To quote Superman himself, do everything you can to find love, to give it, to hold on to it, because life, it goes by so fast. Sorry, I'm sitting further away from the screen.
You sure are. Bizarro Mark, that the most beautiful thing me ever heard.
Scarface, hey guys, look, baby Danny's about to say her first word. This is not going as well.
No, it's not.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Danny.
Oh, Bizarro Mark. That's it, sweetie. Go on, can do it.
Danny, dramatic pause. Rock.
Till next year, big old whoosh. I just flew away, baby. Show less. Upvotes 4.
Upvotes 4. Yeah, show less. Show less. There's so much. Well, that's the podcast. Hope you liked it. Goodbye. The end.
That was the podcast. Hope you liked it. The end.
What do you have to say, Joe?
I look forward to the next time, and hopefully it is not 12 months from now.
Or even 9 or 6 or whatever it was. We have 8 Superman episodes left and 1 Batman episode left.
There's a Bizarro crossover, so now I got to be here for those.
I guess so. Yeah, that's true. Any Bizarro episode, it counts now. We'll be taking a short break, probably a couple of weeks. Then we'll start 2025 off strong with the Yopisode guide for the majority of STAS and TNBA.
Oh boy.
And then we begin a brand new show. And I'm looking forward to it. Brian knows 4 notes of the theme song because he made Kimmy play it for a new recording.
And it doesn't
know
sound
at all.
like it sounds very discordant to
anything.
me. I have no idea what's going on.
That's good. And I almost told you the name of the episode earlier on accident. And you already forgot what I said, so it's fine.
Something with an R, right?
You're right.
Am I wrong?
I'm spoiled. It's ruined for everything. No, it is right.
Yay!
It starts with an R. Yeah.
Do I get points?
No.
Fuck.
I guess I'll have to give the title to you at the start of that episode, and you only have that tiny moment to guess what it's about before we just watch it. But,
Egads. Okay.
That's how it goes. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, plug all your social media that you have and all the places you're at that people can find you.
I'm at work.
Oh, yeah.
Go to Joe's work, everyone.
Right now, actually. Yeah. I don't do that.
Come find me on Christmas. I will be working.
The Tuesday night movie review on JTS Entertainment.
Wherever there's James videos, I'm probably around.
Oh, man, I feel that. In my back. My legs.
In my back, in my legs. My pussy and my crack. Well, that's all that we have for 2024.
My God, you going to put on some music, some outro music for this, Jamie?
I think so.
It's a big moment, man. We made it through another human year of the pod. And we had Joe to help us out.
And that's all that we're doing. We're leaving now.
Yeah.
I'll play this whole song so that it gets copyright claimed.
That's
we don't get any money for this episode.
Thank you, listener, for being awesome and other things too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Send something funny to end this episode, Joe.
I want to know what kind of coffee it's supposed to be.
What was that a reference to? I already forgot.
The donation
of the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
What kind of coffee do you want it to be?
Good.
Black Oak Coffee Roasters in Northern California. Got some Joe.
Catsup.
Hey, there you go. Right on the downbeat. Catsup. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
The end.
Hello, citizens. It's good to be back. World am safe. Me see no trouble. Me say, me see no trouble.
I heard you the first time. Okay, let her rip. Yeah! Watch it, you big jerk! 3 months of this? I don't think so. I quit. Nice doggy! Heel! Play dead! Help!
Life am good.
Jump on the Bat-Wagon is hosted by the Watchtower Database. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for DC Animated Universe videos on a regular basis. This podcast is edited and produced by yours truly, James Strecker. Musical themes by Kimmy, Cooney Phoenix, Viltsu, Eric LeBeau, Jordan Blumen, my mother, and of course, my smooth co-host, Brian, Brother Broderick Meneely. To buy us a Yoppie beverage and hear your name read in a future episode, or to nab yourself a Yoppie Dude t-shirt, please visit the links in today's show notes. Thank you for supporting the show. You can hear more on today's DCAU episode by checking out our friends over on the DCAU Review and Tim Talk podcasts. Please leave us a 5-star review on your app of choice. You'll damn well hear it read on the show. If you'd like to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of World's Finest Part 3, you can email batwagonpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on the Pod Tower. New episodes of Jump on the Bat-Wagon are released Fridays on all your favorite podcast feeds and watchtowerdatabase.com. And we'll see you next episode, same PP time, same poo-poo channel.